Hello and welcome to Make Some Noise. This is episode number 27, and we got the Winter Brothers, Andrew and Philip, from, of course, the band Tyrant. Where are you guys based out again, Philip?
We're based out of Lansing, Michigan, the capital.
Oh, Detroit Rock City, huh?
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great place to rock. Everything from Alice Cooper, Ted Nugent. So, what was it like for you guys growing up there? I mean, what was the music scene like back then?
Lansing had an interesting music scene when we started. And what we noticed is like when we first formed the band, when we were teenagers so many years ago, the more shows we played, it seemed like more bands came out and the scene just grew as we were kind of growing with it. And then obviously when COVID hit, it took a huge loss because it's not an A market
Yeah.
Lansing, so we lost a couple venues with that, but it's bouncing back. It's getting better.
And so, Philip, you were sharing with me before we went on air that you guys are getting ready to drop a new CD. So let's talk about that. Let people know when that's coming out. It's been about 3 or 4 years since the last release. That's correct.
Andrew, you want to tell them about the album?
Go ahead, Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah. It comes out July 17th.
Oh,
There
wow.
you go.
I had to think about it. I don't want to say anything wrong. I had
Yeah,
to think
it's
about it.
next Friday. New songs that we're very excited about. Very different, in my opinion, than the last one, but I think for the better. You know.
And so Philip, you're the front man, right? So talk a little bit about your singing on the new album, how you feel it's progressed.
I definitely tried some new approaches on this one. I mean, I kept for the most part, I kept the same like aggressive,
Yeah.
powerful approach. But we put out Into the Light a few weeks ago, which is more of like a ballad.
Wow.
So it's a lot more somber, which for me, I really had been wanting to do. And then we've also got some of the heaviest songs we've ever done where I'm just straight up screaming my head off,
And
you know.
so
So it's
tell
it's
me,
it's all over the
yeah.
place.
So tell me, guys, like how the fans reacted to the fact that, as you said, the first single you released, or the latest single you released, was a ballad type of song. You get any like surprise reactions?
Yeah,
I
I'd say so. Well, at least surprised that certain friends of mine who don't like metal usually
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I guess a surprise reaction, I would say.
that's a cool thing because oftentimes you can have like a crossover hit, with something that's like not typical for your band.
yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of people seem to like that one, and it reached a lot of people, more people than we kind of anticipated. You know.
And how about you, Andrew? Let's talk about you're a drummer. So what was your playing like on the new album? Do you feel it's progressed any?
Uh, yeah, I was definitely very conscious of it when I was recording about doing different shit. Oh, can I swear on this?
Sure, sure. We're saying there. Why
Yeah,
not? Yeah, yeah.
playing different fills and rhythms and approaching different cadences and stuff like that. So just trying to keep it in the forethought, play different
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay. And so when you guys were recording the album, I was curious, was the whole band in the same studio? Do you record the modern way where everybody records their parts separately? What was the recording process like?
So for this one, we definitely wanted to try and when we were working on the parts as much as we could have everyone together. The last album, The Lowest Level, we all kind of recorded individually. But Chuck, our lead guitar player, he lives in Detroit. He came over, all of his solos he recorded here, and all of us just kind of like workshopped it as it was going, and then same with Sal's bass parts. He was up here, and we were just made a conscious effort to all get into a room and just like spitball ideas.
I don't know how you guys feel if it really matters, but maybe it's because the time when I grew up, that's how albums were made. And so I think it kind of gives it an extra, I don't know, maybe does extra kick. What's your thoughts on that? Everybody, being in the same room.
I think I don't know. It definitely does add something for sure, but with all the technology that we have, it's not really necessary.
Yeah. And so, have you guys been playing out live lately? Or, and the reason I'm asking, I was curious if you've played any of the new tunes yet, or that'll be coming up.
We haven't played them yet, but we plan on doing some big Michigan shows to support the new album later this fall. But yeah, the finishing the new album, all the videos and stuff like that has been the main focus for the past couple months.
Yeah, yeah, and I may have asked you guys this in the past, but this is a new show we got, so I wanted to ask you guys, what's it like, playing in a band together with your brother? I mean, was it just kind of always a natural thing that you guys would play together, or did one of you influence the other one becoming a musician? What was that story?
Our parents definitely curated it.
Okay. Wow.
Uh,
For sure.
yeah, it's fun, and Andrew and I, we definitely synergize a lot on ideas and playing music together. Obviously we're brothers and we have disagreements, but
Yeah.
I mean, we've always been playing music. Shit, Andrew, when did you start drums? Like 5 years old?
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, and I started on violin at 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I played that for a while, and then I started guitar shortly after he started drums.
Yeah, well, people may
So
be surprised to learn, like a guy like Jakey Lee, he started out playing the violin and piano before he ever picked up a guitar. Eddie Van Halen, he was a drummer. He learned the piano before he ever learned the guitar. And so you'd be amazed that many famous musicians, they can play more than one instrument.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah. And as far as being brothers, what's that like too? Because I seen a recent interview with Michael Anthony, the original bass player from Van Halen, who said, in the early days of the band, we didn't really realize this, but kind of in retrospect, he realized it was always the brothers versus everybody else, no matter what it was. Yeah.
We try not to do that, but it just kind of
Happens.
happens sometimes,
Well,
because
because
we're
we think
brothers.
alike. We
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so similar. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so let's talk about the new album, you guys. How many songs are on the new album, and what are your plans? Like you said, you got some shows lined up, I guess, this fall. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 8 full new songs and then one kind of like instrumental intro track. Um, the album title is Emergo. Obviously, this interview is posted after it's been
Yeah.
released, so go stream it everywhere you listen to music. Um, you can buy CD and vinyl and all that fun stuff on our website. But yeah, I think this album's really interesting. Andrew and I listened to it in full the other day, front to back, and we were just kind of like, this is cool, I think people enjoy it.
That's great when we recorded a new album worth of material and you dig it that much, because oftentimes by the time the record's ready to come out, it's like, "Oh, I'm getting sick of hearing these," because we've been
Yeah.
practicing them so much. But it's great that you have that a love for the songs, that much before they've even for the rest of the world heard them. Yeah.
I mean, our bass player Sal, he was listening through the final mixes the other day, and one of the songs, after he listened to it, he texted us and he's like, "This is the best song we've ever done."
Yeah.
So I agree. I think it's fucking awesome. I think people will
And
enjoy that one.
so how hard is it going to be for you guys to come up with a set list? Because in having, new music drop, it's kind of a case of, okay, so how many of the classic tunes do we drop from the set and add some new songs?
Yeah, I mean the new album's short. It's 29 minutes.
Yeah.
We tried to keep it kind of lean and not, meander throughout the song. So the way I see it, and Andrew and I haven't really talked about it yet, but I envision us playing the full album plus like 5 or 6 old ones.
I mean, that people are doing that more and more. That's becoming a thing. And so let's talk about, as a songwriter, Andrew, and Philip, I'd imagine like you have fans coming up to you telling you, "Hey, we dig this song, or this is what the song means to me," and you might be thinking, "Oh, wow, I didn't even write the song. That's not what it's really about." But wow, if that's what you get out of it, great,
Um, that actually happened with the Into the Light song. I had a few people actually text me and they're like, man, this song is like really, really heartfelt and makes me think of all of these things in my life. And I was like, that's great. I'm glad it evokes some feeling in you, because it's supposed to be artful, but
Yeah,
that's not what I intended. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's all about interpretation, and people and anytime you break down a song is really poetry. It's your words put to music, and so people can interpret that however they want based on their own life story. I mean, talk about the power of internet. I'm sure you guys have also experienced where probably your band has never even played certain countries, certain parts of the world, and yet you're hearing from people halfway around the world that they're checking out your band from Michigan.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's kind of humbling, especially with the past two singles we've done off this new album. You know, there's all these comments like, "Hey, from Australia, hey, Vietnam, Poland, wherever the fuck in the world."
Wow.
And
Wow.
same with like the pre-orders. We've got pre-orders pretty much all over the world at this point. So it's kind of like, we're just having fun making
So,
music, and we're
so let
just
me ask you, with those pre-orders coming from different parts of the world, um, do those like you start mailing those CDs out like a little earlier just so they get there on time?
Uh, I mean, even if we did, international postage is a nightmare.
Yeah,
It, it
I
could
was gonna
take
say, yeah,
it could
yeah,
take months. So, and we've had international packages held up at customs for forever.
that's
For no
crazy.
reason.
You know,
Yeah,
that's crazy. Though, to think somebody's like waiting months and months to get the new CD, but they're that passionate about your music. That's got to be a great feeling.
it's humbling for sure.
And then also when you stop and think about the fact that, like I said, these are places that the band's not even stepped foot in it, and yet not just think about your little band and checking out your music, but that your metal band, people are listening to your brand and what you guys do, different parts of the world. That's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, it is super gratifying, but it's nice,
Yeah, yeah, and so let's talk about some of. Okay, Andrew, I'll ask you since you're the drummer. Who are some of your favorite drummers that influenced you when you were growing up?
Well, when I was growing up, it was primarily Peter Chris
Oh, wow, yeah.
and Vinnie Paul
Yeah, let
and
me
like
ask you about Peter Chris.
stuff.
I'm a huge Kiss fan myself. Have you had a chance to hear Peter's new solo album?
No.
The first one he's dropped like in over 20 years. It's kind of hard to get,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you, if it's probably the last thing he's ever going to do. I gotta be honest. I was quite impressed because, like I said, I'm a diehard, so I got the album. I found out how to get it, and I'm glad I got it. It's not because it'll probably be the last thing he ever did. Being that he just turned 80 as the album was dropping, but it's pretty cool. It's classic, kind of what you'd expect from Peter.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, and how about you? How about you, Andrew? Excuse me, Philip. Who are the singers that influenced you growing up?
Uh, Growing up, definitely Paul Stanley. And I still try to emulate him to a certain extent, Um, and I guess other vocalists, and I know he gets a lot of flack, but I think Dave Mustaine is a really appropriate vocalist for what he does, and especially on the later Megadeth albums, I think.
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the latest Megadeth album. It's going to be the final Megadeth album, first album to go number one, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. I listened to it. I definitely think there's some really solid songs on there.
Yeah,
I just wish with their last album we would have gotten a little bit more,
yeah,
ferocity out of them.
yeah,
But they're older, so
yeah, and I can tell not just his voice, but definitely he injured his hand and he's not able to play like he used to. He said, but I think Dave Mustaine is a great frontman for a simple fact that I heard him talk about it over the years where he was saying initially when he formed Megadeth, he wanted to have somebody else do the lead vocals, but he could not find anybody to perform the songs he wrote. Like he auditioned singers and he'd be telling them, that's not the way I wrote this song. That's not the way I hear it in my head. And so his manager, producer, somebody said, Dave, you've got a decent enough voice. And nobody knew at this point that Dave could really sing. And he said, why don't you just try to sing your own songs? And I think Dave Mustaine had no idea that he could sing like that until he did, you know. And that's one of the things I think is great about Megadeth. If Megadeth would have never been formed, the world never would have known that Dave Mustaine could be a great frontman.
Mhm.
I mean, I think he's fantastic. It's, again, like if you listen to Euthanasia or even like The System Has Failed, those later
Yeah,
Megadeth albums, I think he really like properly stepped into the role as vocalist at that point. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And who would have thought, you know, also the bass player Megadeth these days, James Lomenzo used to be the bass player in White Lion of all things, and man,
Nice.
he's doing those heavy riffs now.
I mean, the lineup's super solid. Dirk's an amazing
Yeah,
drummer.
yeah, yeah. And so, anything else you'd like to let folks know about before you wrap this up today, guys?
Obviously, check out the new album. Let
Yes,
us know what you
please.
think. Yeah, we worked really hard on it, and if you like it, let us know, and if you don't like it, let us know.
Yeah, let us know that. And so,
Yeah.
final question for the day, guys. I was curious. The 8 songs that are on the new album are these songs that were all freshly written for this album. Any older material that had been laying around that didn't make it onto past albums?
The only one that I think is kind of a cut from the lowest level is the song "Land of Dreams."
Okay.
But a lot of these new songs were written for this album, and like, you know, we probably cut another 6 or 7 songs that didn't make this album,
And
something like that.
how hard is that process as far as okay, we got all these great tunes that we're going to cut it down to 8. I mean, what's that process of deciding what songs go on the album and what songs don't?
That's mostly Andrew's job.
And like repetitiveness and like if it just I don't know if you can't dance to your own music, really.
There you go. There you go. If you can't dance to your own music and can't bang your head to it, then
Yeah.
there's something wrong, right?
Yeah.
And let me ask you guys before we go, share with us the story behind the band's name. I mean, I remember time I interviewed you guys, I heard the name Tyrant. I'm like, wow, that sounds so metal. Like, how did you guys come up with that?
We just we formed this band when we were in high school, and we just thought it was a kick-ass name.
Yeah.
And obviously we checked all the legal copyright, trademark, service mark. Nobody had it, and we were like, all right, good enough.
And did you guys also design the logo, or somebody else designed the logo? Because again, Tyrant is just one name. It looks so metal, the logo, you know?
The logo was done by this guy. His name's Christopher Horst. He's done a lot of logos for bands like Battlecross, the Zenith Passage. I mean, he's fantastic logo designer.
Yeah, it really stands out. And people can find you guys on Facebook, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Facebook, Instagram, all of it.
And so before we go, Phil, if anybody wants to get the new album or pre-order it, how can they do that?
You can buy it directly from us at tyrantband.com. Obviously we run the web store ourselves. So if you buy a CD, cassette, vinyl, shirt, whatever, it ships directly from us.
And then I'm sure people come catch the band live when you guys are performing. They can get it at the merch table and that.
We'll have copies of everything. Yeah.
Okay, well, Andrew and Phil, it's been a while. Thanks for appearing on Make Some Noise. This will be going up on July 20th. I'll be sure you guys get a copy of the link and feel free to share it. And we'll have you back on the show once I've done the new album and I've had a chance to hear it, because I'd like to know what I'm talking about, if you know what I mean? And so I want to really look at the album. So take care, guys, and we'll be seeing you down the line.
You too. Thank you, Jason.
Anytime. Bye-bye.